Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here, and we are back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we're going to be talking about the 2019 Martinsville race that just finished a couple minutes ago. And congratulations to Martin Truex Jr. And can I just say, what is it with him in short tracks now? Because this guy didn't seem like he could win short tracks before, but this guy has won a lot of short tracks now. He swept both Richmond races this year, and now he's got redemption, and he's won at Martinsville. So it seems like Truex is going to be a strong candidate to win the championship come Homestead. And speaking of Homestead, he's already in. He doesn't have to worry about anything for the next 2 weeks. And that's a very different story compared to last year where he got bumped out of the way by Joey Logano. Now, something happened with Joey Logano, but we'll get to that later on in the video. So I can just basically say this straight up. Truex dominated this whole race. Everybody can say that Truex dominated this whole race. This guy led over 440 laps at Martinsville. If you don't think that's domination, then what is domination to begin with in general? And the guy that finished second kind of surprised me because he's not really a short track racer, but he's a guy, very good crew chief. So here are the results next to me. Martin Truex Jr. winning the race. William Byron finishing in second. Now, William Byron actually kind of surprised me because you don't really think William Byron is a short track racer, but with Chad announced as his coach, crew chief, and to be honest, the last 50 laps he was always a rep on Truex. If he could just got a little bit closer, I'm pretty sure William Byron would have got into the back bumper of Truex and probably bumped him out of the way. Okay, Brad Keselowski finishing in third, Denny Hamlin fourth. And in fifth, we have Ryan Blaney. So, 2 playoff drivers finishing in the top 5. Truex and Blaney. Blaney had a solid day. It seemed like he was always going to have a top 10 car. And, I mean, he was always there towards the front in stage number 2 and stage number 3. So, Blaney just had an overall strong day. Keselowski, strong day for him, even though he missed out on the playoffs last week. And, yeah, Denny Hamlin, there you go. So wait, actually I had that right. 3 playoff drivers in the top 5. I don't know, I said 2. And Denny Hamlin, there was an incident with him and Joey Logano where Denny Hamlin kind of squeezed Joey Logano up. I don't really see why he did that, but it's Martinsville, you know, like it's people are being aggressive out there. There was a lot of beating and banging out there. And we'll get into there's a whole situation that happened between him and Joey Logano at the end of the race, but we'll get into that later on in this video. So, Kurt Busch finished in 6th, Kevin Harvick finishing in 7th, Joey Logano finishing in 8th. Joey Logano got put into the wall, spun with like 40 laps to go, and still managed to finish 8th. We'll continue that after I get through the results, because this is Joey Logano for you. Kyle Larson finishing in 9th, Brian Newman having a solid day in top 10. But these two guys surprised me the most. 11th is David Reagan. Front Row Motorsports finishes 11th place. That's a solid and a top drive from David Reagan in his final season for Front Row, because next year he is retiring from full-time competition. And in 12th place, Chris Buescher, another solid finish. This guy has had some solid finishes at some of these racetracks. 13th, Bubba Wallace. This Richard Petty Motorsports car seems to be improving, and if I remember right, it's been a while since Bubba actually retired from a race that didn't have to do with like a crash out of his own situation. 14th was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch had a banged up car. I mean, like, if you guys really saw his car, you guys would know he had a banged up car. And he kind of got into it, Ryan Newman, with a couple laps to go, and I think that really slowed down his car, and he ended up finishing 14th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finishing in 15th. Matt DiBenedetto in 16th. Daniel Hemrick finishing in 17th. Solid day. He's the top. Hey, look at that. You're the top, You're the top driver for RCR today, because I don't even know where Austin Dillon finished, to be honest, but Daniel Hemrick, 17th. Corey LaJoie in that Scooby-Doo car. That car looks so good. Ryan Preece in 19th and Eric Jones finishing in 20th. Now, if you guys do look at it, there's one driver that's missing. Technically, there's two, if you guys really do care about it. That is Chase Elliott and Jimmy Johnson. Chase Elliott finished 36th. He had mechanical issues. I think he broke two axles broke two axles and go to the garage to fix it. He ended up being like 37 laps down when he came back into it, and he ended up finishing 36th. And then Jimmy Johnson finished last after getting involved in a wreck that Almirola and Kyle Busch had gotten into. I think I don't really know how it went because I didn't really see the full incident, but what I saw was that Almirola and Kyle Busch were together. And so Almirola said these comments on screen right now, that he says he's going to make life hell for Kyle Busch the next 3 weeks. In my honest opinion, why are you saying this? Because I know okay, I can get why you're saying this, but don't do that. I get you're frustrated. Martinsville can create a lot of frustrations. Guys have been frustrated before. I mean, Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin a couple years ago. Frustrated, and look what happened there. But that's the thing is, Kyle Busch is not a driver to be... I'm going to be honest, guys. Kyle Busch is not a driver to be messed with. So, if he makes his comments and he actually ends up taking Kyle Busch out or running Kyle Busch hard into the wall and Kyle Busch ended up missing out the chase, Homestead is going to be an interesting day for Eric Almirola. But I don't think Eric Almirola is going to really take out Kyle Busch, and I think Kyle Busch will end up making it to Homestead because the final four is probably going to be those three Toyotas, and then I'd probably say Kevin Harvick because I think Kevin Harvick is going to win ISM. But otherwise, this race was a very decent race. I mean, there was a lot of passes. Of course, as Martinsville is a short track, and it ended with a very strong battle between I would say a young driver and an experienced driver, with the experienced driver getting the edge over the young driver. But something happened after the race. And I was not even going to talk about this until I saw it, watching the end of the race. Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin are talking. And, they're having a civil conversation, like, all right, you ran me up into the wall, like, I'm sorry, I apologize for this. And then as Joey Logano walks away, Joey Logano shoves Denny Hamlin. Why? If you're having a civil conversation about it, that's actually good, because most NASCAR drivers, they probably just do something and then just walk away. They probably just like push you or punch you and throw away. At least you're having a civil conversation about it. Joey Logano, sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I disagree with him. In this instance, I disagree with him because there was no necessary reason to do that. Like, you're having a civil conversation about a driver that made you angry, and then to push him off, which Denny Hamlin, of course, is going to take that, not lightly, and he's going to come at you because you're disrespecting him after that you just had a civil conversation. So, in this instance, I agree with Denny Hamlin. Even though Denny Hamlin may push Joey Logano against the wall, Denny Hamlin talked to Joey Logano about it. I'm not sure if he apologized. We don't really know. And then after the interview, man, the crowd at Martinsville, when something happens there and they feel like a driver's in the wrong, they will cheer that guy, because Denny Hamlin got cheered when he was talking on the interview, and he was just like, oh, Joey Logano's probably going to say that's Martinsville for you. But with that whole push, like, at the end, I can understand if you wanted to start it off with that and, go into that, but don't do it at the end, because that just makes you look bad. Because if you're having a civil conversation about it, why end it with a push that it's going to start something, because you both are frustrated with what happened and what went on? There's no reason to do that. And Denny Hamlin was right about everything he said, and he'll just move on next week. And if anything, if it's him or Joey Logano that makes the playoffs, it's most likely going to be Denny Hamlin, because I think Denny Hamlin, according to the standings right now, or the playoff picture, which is up on the screen right now, as you can see, Denny Hamlin is like 22 points clear if I remember right. Kyle Busch is like 19, and Joey Logano is like 12. So, who has a better chance of making the playoffs right now? Denny Hamlin, I know, runs strong at Texas, and Denny Hamlin is probably going to be strong at ISM. Kyle Busch is going to be strong at Texas. Not so sure about ISM. Joey Logano is going to be solid at Texas, and I think at ISM, but that's not really the whole point of the situation. Denny Hamlin, Denny Hamlin did the right thing. He talked to Joe Logano about it. Like I said before, I don't really know if he apologized about it, but Denny Hamlin did the right thing by talking to Joe Logano about it. And Joe Logano basically, at the end, just was like, forget you, and just pushed him off, and that started a whole altercation. But I just gotta say, why was there a need to shove Denny Hamlin? Because having a simple conversation about it, NASCAR drivers, sometimes like I said before, sometimes NASCAR drivers take action before they speak, like Clint Boyer when he punched Ryan Newman with his helmet still on. And in that instance, it's just bad. But this instance, Denny Hamlin actually was being respectful, came up to you, or you came up to him, you were talking about it, and then you just started something at the end. There was no need for that, and Joe Logano was wrong for that. But other than that, the race was pretty good. I mean, it's Martinsville. Martinsville always produces some very good racing, and some exciting finishes. Well, sometimes some exciting finishes and some great passing, because there was a lot of passing. It's a short track. There needs to be more short tracks on the NASCAR calendar in let's say 2021, because short tracks right now are really the thing to be going by, because I can't even name a short track this year that hasn't produced a very good race. So to end this all, if I had to give Martinsville a grade scale from F to an A, I would probably give this a B-, just because I think it was dominated by Truex the whole race. That's the only problem I really have with it. If let's say it wasn't dominating, like there were multiple passes for the lead, probably it'd be an A. But I think it's gonna be a B-, and that's my own opinion about the end of the race. I want to know your guys' opinion about the race. What do you think of the Denny Hamlin situation? What do you think about Truex winning, dominating Martinsville? And do you think this is actually a good race? Because I'll be honest, I think it was a good race, but I want to know your guys' opinion down in the comments down below. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching this video. Please do smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys all later. Peace.